Amazon is under renewed scrutiny for dozens of deadly crashes involving semi-trucks carrying its cargo.
The company rapidly expanded its shipping network as demand skyrocketed during the pandemic, but there have been some serious issues. The Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office in Wyoming released this body cam video last year of an Amazon semi sideswiping another truck on an interstate. The Wall Street Journal reports since 2015, more than 75 people have been killed in crashes involving trucking companies working for Amazon. But the company insists its shipping network is safe. Paris Martineau joins us now. She is a reporter for The Information who broke this story. Paris, welcome. Thanks for joining us. You point out in your reporting that Amazon contracts small trucking businesses to transport packages on its behalf. Give us a sense of the type of people who run these companies and the level of experience that they have.
So the level of experience that these companies have range. Amazon's trucking network works kind of like an Uber, but for trucking. It's a platform that allows small and medium-sized companies from a variety of backgrounds to sign up to do kind of gig work jobs, transporting packages. This helps Amazon, keep its shipping machine humming and get your packages to you quickly. But it also means that the quality of these companies varies wildly. From what my reporting has found, Amazon often relies on kind of these small independent companies that can have poor safety records, or ones that have a track record of hiring inexperienced drivers or drivers with a lengthy history of safety violations.
It seems as well, though, Amazon is trying to play it both ways with the dynamic you've just laid out. Amazon is claiming they're not legally liable in some of these cases, but we just played the footage of that crash. There's Amazon logos clearly across it. So explain what they mean and how it's likely to be interpreted in court.
Yeah, so Amazon, whenever it has these crashes where its packages spill out of the back of vehicles and its logo is emblazoned on the side of the trailers, the back part of the semi-truck, it says that it isn't legally liable because Amazon isn't the name of the company responsible for driving that truck. Amazon uses a series of contractors. It will contract with a small trucking company that usually then hires its own subcontractors, the drivers, to drive the trucks. So whenever an accident happens, Amazon says, well, even though we have asked this company, in some cases, let's say for months or years, to drive the same route, tell them where to go, when to go, and kind of control most parts of the operation. It says we're not the name on the side of the truck legally, so we should not be held liable. And in many cases, depending on the state kind of legal framework around trucking, that ends up being held up in court.
Interesting. Well, earlier this year, we heard President Biden take on Amazon when it comes to the issue of unions. Do you think that the federal government has a larger role to play in cracking down on this issue of road safety?
Yeah, so as I've been speaking to economists and researchers who have studied kind of the impact of trucking regulations in the U.S., one thing that they've pointed out is there is a model for a federal government taking more responsibility in this. In Australia, they introduced a chain of responsibilities laws in late 2018, which kind of broadened the liability in cases of truck crashes from just the driver and their company to all parties in the supply chain. So these laws kind of criminalize the business practices of retailers saying, hey, we're hiring this small company and you've got to get it there quick, no matter what. And if something happens, our hands are clean. It makes sure that everybody has a vested interest in promoting safe practices.
Look, we all want our packages delivered quickly, but we are also on those same roads and deserve safety. And as more companies look toward autonomous driving systems, which themselves are not 100% safe yet, they usually have a human on board, we'll want to keep track of stories like this to make sure there's accountability when it comes to moving things through the transportation network. Paris Martineau, fantastic reporting. Thanks for speaking with us about what you know.
Thanks so much for having me.